I'm here with Craig Ferry, and we're going to talk about the origins of Alico Family Golf. I've known Craig for a long time, and I know that when he started this place, it wasn't just going to be a driving range or a mini golf course or a short course. It's going to be more than that. The vision is broad in scope. And so, Craig, why don't you start off by telling us why the game of golf has kind of declined over the years? Like, what are the reasons people can't go out and make golf a regular part of their life?
Will do. First off, Alico Family Golf was created to give the community a place to come and to practice their game of golf, to enjoy themselves, have some family entertainment, and to do this with not a lot of money, not a lot of time, and not a lot of difficulty, which are the three components of what a lot of golf venues nowadays have to struggle with. And frankly, to be honest with you, Damien, we are very excited about the position that we're in to combat this by learning, practicing, and playing the game of golf at Alico Family Golf, because everything that you can do at AFG is low cost, not a lot of time, and not very difficult. And so we try to break down all the barriers that golf for many years has had to overcome.
And so because these days we're all, working more hours, we have to stretch our dollars further. A lot of millennials are falling off as golfers because they don't have the time, money, or, they just can't find the resources to make golf a part of their life. But now you can call yourself a golfer and, not fall into that stereotype of what people think a golfer used to be in the 80s, 90s, right?
Yeah, that's very, very accurate. All of our customers are golfers. The term golfer really has changed over the last few years. People that can just come to AFG and hit balls or play around on the short course will call themselves golfers, but yet they may have never stepped foot on a regulation size golf course. So the term itself is obviously changing. There's not just AFG, but other institutions that have helped in that cause. And AFG is really ripe and ready to go about fulfilling the mission of growing the game of golf through learning, practicing, playing, by being very efficient with time, cost, and playability.
Okay, so based on what I've seen happening at your venue, you're not just selling buckets of balls. You're not just, letting kids have birthday parties to play mini golf. You're involved in a ton of different missions and causes. Which one, FGCU, Lee Memorial, the Chambers of Commerce, which ones are you most excited about? And tell me about those.
Yes, we are in the entertainment and relationship business. That's what we do at AFG. The goal is really to create partnerships and relationships with a wide variety of institutions and organizations, local and abroad. I'm very excited about all of our partnerships with Florida Gulf Coast University, with the Lee County School District, with Lee County Parks and Recs, with a variety of outreach programs and nonprofit institutions like Kids Helping Kids, like the First Tee of Lee County, which AFG is the home of golf with, the Bonita Springs YMCA, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and so on and so forth. The most exciting part about these relationships with the Rotary Club and various other companies around town is that we can facilitate for them what others don't have the capacity to do. But ironically, because we have a facility, that's one thing. But more importantly, it's about the relationships. That's what excites me the most. I love meeting new people. I love facilitating events. We love growing the game of golf. And we love doing it with a smile. That's the goal. Walking into AFG with some expression on your face, but always leaving AFG with a smile on your face.
Okay, and so you had mentioned First Tee. I remember I've heard of First Tee. I kind of know what it is. Why don't you tell me what it is?
First Tee of Lee County is a junior golf nonprofit development program that's designed to instill life-enhancing values and character-building traits through the game of golf. It is a 501c3. We are the home of the First Tee of Lee County, which means that we kind of govern one of the programs that they facilitate. And it is a wonderful program to kind of breathe the next generation of good, productive members of society through the game of golf. I mean, and the best part about that is that these kids can grow up and understand how golf can impact their lives and the polarities it has between life itself. And they can be more valuable to the companies they work for, the institutions they're a part of, and the families they create. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about the First Tee in junior golf.
So, I think it's really valuable that kids these days are actually getting outside and playing sports instead of being glued to a tablet or an iPhone, and that, golf is difficult, right? So the better they get, the more they're going to practice, the more they make that connection between hard work and the outcome of succeeding and becoming a better player. So, First Tee, it gives kids who wouldn't normally get exposure to the game of golf, right?
That's very much so. That's one of the main parts of the First Tee. When you ask me these questions, Damien, I answer them not as a PGA golf professional. I answer them not as a business owner and facilitator. I answer them really as a parent of 4 young children who I want to leave a legacy with and feel the responsibility to facilitate the game of golf through the juniors. They are our future, and it's very important that we reach out not only from the people who can afford programs, but people who can't afford programs. The game has got to expand, and this has been going on for several years, and there's been a ton of great people that have taken the lead on facilitating and organizing the game of golf through the First Tee, through inner city foundations and all after-school programs. So it's very good. I'm very excited about it. And yes, as a parent, I want to make sure the legacy lives on.
Right. So I think you're doing a great job of that. You're also kind of involved in all these different networking groups that are a really positive force in the business community, a positive force for encouraging better social activity, and a positive force for women playing the game of golf. You got a bunch of different women's golfing clubs, and they meet and they socialize and they play golf. Tell me about some of those, and tell me about how those have been successful for you guys.
Definitely. I love to talk about that stuff. And, just the other day, Zurich Classic did a report about the impact of golf and mentoring and building relationships, and how you can spend so much time with somebody through the game of golf, and how there's so many parallels between golf and business and life, that we are super excited to be hosting various entities at our facility over the last couple of years, and driving forward the message of mentoring and relationship building and social responsibility. That's one thing that we hold near and dear to our hearts at AFG, is giving back to the community. I think are only halfway through the year, and we've already given out somewhere around 250 gift certificates to local nonprofits in various ways and means, because it's important to us. It's important to us to spread the word that golf is not just about being selfish and scoring low in a tournament. There's way more than that. It's about giving back. It's about being responsible for your own actions. It's really about having somebody coach you through all that. And we like to call ourselves coaches at AFG, not instructors. And the reason why that is because it goes beyond the realms of a swing or a putting stroke or a score. Yes, that is vitally important to the game of golf and for those people that are goal setting and that's what they want to achieve. But when you see those expressions on the kids' faces, and when you listen to the conversations of the women coming together for a golf clinic, you see just unbelievable ways how you can impact somebody's life. And when you see that those guys slapping high five when they make a putt on the short course or hit it close to the pin, and you say to yourself, that's what it's all about. It's getting out of yourself, getting into a game called golf that can bring something else out of you. And it's very exciting to see, and we're very happy to facilitate that.
Yeah. So golf not only, is good for you physically because you're out and you're active, it also helps build your mental strength. And tell me about the partnership you've started with Dr. Shannon Reese.
One that I'm very excited to announce very shortly. That partnership is something that we're trying to pull forces together of what she does so well and what I think we do okay. And that is that when you come and you want to learn the game of golf, one of the aspects of learning the game of golf is defining what the goal that you want to improve upon is. It could be the swing, it could be the stroke, it could be course management, it could be just overall better performance. And Dr. Shannon Reese with Optimal Performance comes into play greatly with that. She is a PhD and she has her sports psychology background, and she basically will tell you who you are and what you are when you're out there playing the game of golf. She has various creative ways and valuable ways of understanding how you can affect your game on a mental side. And we all know that if anybody has been around the game of golf, that the mental side is realistically more significant than the physical side. And so she's great with that, and we're just finalizing a program that we're going to be rolling out here soon. And I'm very excited to have her on board at Alico Family Golf so that all your golfers out there can not only just play, but also can mentally think their way around a golf course.
Yeah, because when I go out there, all I want to do is just hit huge drives and hit the green from 180 yards with my 5-iron. But, when it comes to the green and it comes to my short game and the mental part of my game, I fall apart, and that's kind of like a metaphor for life, right? So if you're sloppy in your game of golf in the short game, odds are you're sloppy in some other part of your life that is potentially negatively affecting you. Life isn't about hitting long drives. It's about the short game and executing where it counts. So, there's the psychological aspect to golf, and then there's the physical aspect to golf. And there is a program you guys are involved with. You guys are just involved with so many programs, which is awesome, with Lee Memorial Rehab, right? So people that have pulmonary disease, they're getting rehabilitated. And I forget the doctor's name you told me, but tell me about that partnership.
Well, when you think of golf, there's many different ways: mental, physical, fitness-wise, dietary. A good friend of the facility, Dr. Ray Santucci, was a pulmonary intensivist. Him and I had become friends, and he's a great guy, and he knows a lot about the game of golf. He's a golf enthusiast, and he loves what we do. And he said, over a game of golf, we talked about how various ways that we can impact people who are golfers but go under the knife, so to speak, and how we can rehab them. And down here in Southwest Florida, courses are designed and built with communities around them. And sometimes to navigate yourself around the golf course takes a long time when you go from hole to hole. And a lot of them you can't walk. So if you're a pulmonary patient or a cardio patient, and you're unfortunately going to go in for surgery to get better, you would like an outlet. I think people would like an outlet of what they can do to rehab after pre- and post-op, I should say, and do that in a way where you can do it on a golf course with a game you love. Think about rehab with the sport that you love would be an awesome concept. So what Dr. Ray Santucci is putting together with myself is a program where your patients or his patients can come on out to AFG with oversight, obviously, with the medical field, and maybe walk the short course and play golf and do some exercises at the facility that will help aid in their recovery. of cardio or pulmonary diseases, and so on and so forth. And to do that on a short course, which is only on a 3 acres of land, rather than trying to do that out somewhere on a remote part of a golf course and not having any security or medical attention, could be, somewhat, dangerous. And so we're very excited to slowly be putting together a program to institute that. And I think we should be rolling that out soon at some point here in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I can't remember the last time I walked a golf course, but in the heat in the summer, a full length, par 72 golf course could bring, anyone to their knees. You could be a triathlete and you could totally collapse at the end of that, lose a gallon of water. So,
That's true.
So you play golf. I've seen you play. You're not that good. I'm just kidding. You're actually PGA Pro, and so this you didn't just pull this idea out of nowhere. You have a really extensive background in playing the game. So why don't you tell me about what your past was with golf and where you're at now with your game and how you see yourself trying to maintain that in the future with all these responsibilities. You're running 1,000,000 miles an hour, I can tell.
Sure. And the funny thing is that, like most of us golf enthusiasts or golf pros or avid golfers, whatever you want to call us, we want to play. We want to be on TV. We want to be Tiger Woods and the next Ricky Fowler or Jordan Spieth or Jason Day. And, obviously my dreams and visions of that came later on in life because I was a baseball player all through college. I contribute my my golf knowledge and my golf experience to my father, my Uncle Bill, and my first bosses, professionals, Angelo Alenti back at Stamford, Connecticut, and a few others over there at Sterling Farms Golf Course who really helped me and understand what this game is all about. And it was great to learn at a public setting rather than a private setting first, of which later I did facilitate golf at a private facility here in town. And what the best part about it is that I've always had these spurts of, okay, I'm going to play more golf. I'm going to play more tournaments. And it always seems to be that a golf initiative, whether it's starting a putter company or helping to get involved in a nonprofit, golf related, or instruction, and so on and so forth, always came back into play, and I put more emphasis on that over the years. And ironically, when we built Alico Family Golf, I had high hopes for me to hit balls every day and to get my game really sharp, and the opposite has occurred. My game has gotten much sharper mentally than it has physically. Yes, I could still hit the ball and I could still play, but I'm finding greater interest and greater joy, especially now having 4 children of my own and with my wife Liz, in growing the game of golf on a totally different spectrum, if you will, of not just a golf course, but facilitating the programs, getting involved with the nonprofits, instituting the promotional events at AFG like Fanatic Fridays and college instructional nights on Thursday nights and family weekends, and so on and so forth. I find more joy in that, believe it or not. Yes, I'd love to swing the club. I am currently working with an instructor, Scott Holden, at the facility, who's got an enormous amount of experience in teaching the swing in the game. And I like where I'm at, but in all honesty, it's not about me. It's in my game. It's about the future golfers and the current golfers who come to the facility. I take more joy in giving them joy rather than maybe shooting a 67 or a 69 or whatnot. Even though that's nice and I enjoy doing that, and trust me, I need to do that more often. But the validation doesn't come from my scores like it once did. The validation comes from how many people we've passed on the message of how golf is so important to people's lives and how important is it to the future of golf. And that's where I'm validating myself today. Maybe that'll change in some point, but today I'm pretty content with that.
Okay, so when I originally met you guys, you and your father and your partner, um, Bob Seabass, I think his name is, he really brilliant marketer and really intelligent guy, and he was adamant about making AFG a place for families because there really when it comes down to it, there really aren't a whole lot of places in Southwest Florida. I mean, the beach, okay, and where families can go and each member can find something that they like to do. It might not be fun for your 5-year-old daughter to go out onto the driving range with a 7-iron and kind of duff it around a little bit, but she can go play mini golf, and it's, if you're really trying to work on your short game, the short course is perfect for that. You got a Golden Tee video game. There's a little snack bar. There's a tiki hut for events and whatnot. It's really focused on the family, and I think that's important because whether or not we all want to believe it, the family is really the unit that can exemplify a healthy society. And was that part of the original vision, or did it just kind of end up that way? And you being a father of 4, why is that important for you guys to have this place be centered on the family?
Yes, it was designed and constructed with the family in mind. Alico Family Golf offers a place for the whole family to come and everybody enjoy at least something there. Everybody loves miniature golf. We know the parents or the adults enjoy maybe improving their game or trying to set a goal and achieving that. So yes, definitely family. When you think of the word family, it encompasses everybody. We don't want to leave anybody behind or leave anybody out of our mission of learning, practicing, and playing the game of golf while we grow the game of golf through various ways. And so that is obviously important. And we want everybody out there to know, because everybody's a part of a family, that, hey, it doesn't have to be just the guys or just the girls or just the athletic son or daughter to come on out. It's everybody. One side of the family can go on one side of the building. The other side of the family can go on the other side of the building. And they can meet in the middle for a snack and talk about their experiences and what they did that was great, and so on and so forth. And we all know that we can all bond more with our families, no matter what our situation may be. And the family unit is the core of everything that we do. It's the core of our civilization, or at least in our communities and homes and schools and so on and so forth, and teams. So that is obviously, I think, a mission that a lot of people share, is something for everybody, and spending more time conversing and bonding with your family members and doing it over something that's actually pretty cool and not intimidating. You don't have the constraints of, we have to buy a membership to come here. Oh, we have to go out and buy $1,000 sets of golf clubs to come here. Oh, we have to abide by certain rules and regulations. No. All those barriers are broken down at AFG. There is no membership. There's clubs provided at no additional costs, and everything there can be done in a half an hour if need be. Hitting balls, playing miniature golf, playing the short course, taking a lesson, hosting an event. You name it. Having a bite to eat, or drinking a beer. Everything can be done in rather quick times. And so when you come there with the family, it's really important to know that you are the centerpiece of everything that we do at Alico Family Golf. And we want you to feel like you're home, so we treat you as our guests. And we want to know that we are unconventional when it comes to, hey, you've had a negative experience. Here's something to help you through that. Life can throw you a lot of punches, and we all know this game is an enigma still, no matter how long you've been in it. And we know how how unfortunate sometimes it can turn your feelings from positive to negative. When you come to our facility, all you get is positive, and that's what we strive for. And ironically, not only is the facility run and owned by family members, but what's great is our staff. We have a couple sets of kin that work at Alico Family Golf, along with my father, who's involved in the facility. And our summer program is run by a father-son. So you can see how the word family really exemplifies itself in the practices and the procedures at AFG. And we're really excited about that. And we didn't plan that. It just happened that way. But yeah, it's great for the individual, and it's even better for the families.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you said there was something for everybody, and I want you to talk about, I think, to close, I want you to talk about your mini golf course and Jade Summers. Just tell me about this person and what she has meant to you guys and what you guys have meant to her.
Jay is a beacon of hope and inspiration for all of us, no matter if you're a golfer or not. Jade is somebody who I met through her father. She walked for the first time when she received her high school diploma. She hadn't walked in 19 years, and that's her age. It was an amazing story that made the news, and I know her father, and I asked her if she could come to Alico Family Golf per request of Wink News because they wanted to do a story on her, and they had seen some pictures of her at Alico Family Golf playing the miniature golf course, which is the only ADA compliant golf course in the area. It's skill-based and it's relatively flat. And so her dad had been creative enough to design her a tool to play the game by putting the ball down at some PCB piping. We also have ADA compliant golf putters as well for people who want that experience. And so we met at AFG. It was a wonderful story. I was taken back by Jade. She's a beautiful young lady, and she has a ton of faith and hope in life. And I wanted to enhance that. So we wanted to make sure that she was given proper attention about what impact she has on our local community. And so that was a great experience for Jade to come on out. We gave her a lifetime membership on the miniature golf course, which is, I think, the only one located east of 41. And we want everybody to know that that course is so much fun for families and for dates and for events and for team building and for nonprofits to raise money with, because it gives so much to so many people, not just joy, but camaraderie and, a little competitive competition and so on and so forth. So it was a great experience for us. It wasn't about the facility. It was about Jade. And we're happy to have had Jade out there. And for anybody else that's looking to highlight anything that they want in their life and do it through a medium like miniature golf, we can and make it happen, whether it's an event-based or a private gathering. So you just let us know out there who's listening what you want, and we'll try to do our best to facilitate it. And we want you guys to spread the word about the facility, but more importantly, we want you to experience what it is that you would like to with the course and the facility.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to sit down and have this conversation with you because as your communications person, I know that you just have so many irons in the fire, and they all deserve their own, piece of attention. And I think it's really inspiring for myself and everyone that comes in contact with you that you guys are doing so much to help the community, to connect people, to promote the game of golf, in a way that, people can consume it. It's hard for anybody to go out and play a 5-hour round on a Saturday. It's expensive, it's taxing, it's time consuming. And so, it's really impressive what you're doing with the game of golf in Southwest Florida. And I thank you for sitting down and explaining some of that.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me. today. And also, I want to give a big thank you to our partners and primarily our staff at the facility. I believe, bar none, we have the best staff in Southwest Florida. They welcome you with open arms. They're upbeat. They're fun. You know, it's. I would never thought I'd be coaching or young adults as much as we're doing at the facility. And we don't necessarily look at it as employment of these young adults. We look at it as relationship building. Again, you know, they do an excellent job. You know, and I won't name them, but they know who they are, and I want to make sure that all that gets out. And I want to thank our customers too. We've had some very loyal customer base, people who have come and continue to come, and that's why we offer programs like the Advantage Card and the Summer Range Pass and the Summer Instruction Deal for $99 for 3 half-an-hour lessons, and so on and so forth. You know, more information can be found at our website at alicofamilygolf.com. But more importantly, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been involved from day one getting this place up and running. And the best is yet to come, and we're just scratching the surface. And it's because of the county, the community, and the camaraderie of what we have at Alico Family Golf. So a big thank you to everybody.
All right. Appreciate it, Craig. Thanks for sitting with me today.
Have a good day.